Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect out here pushing this truth in sincerity. The water for which I do, we love you. We appreciate you through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Shalom to you. It's your brother Dawud Dad. I don't want Ratazah, meaning the Lord's will, here to give you an edifying lesson to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And shalom to y'all. All right. So really quick, but not really quick. This is gonna be not a long lesson, but hopefully not too short as well. Down here in GMS Atlanta, we have a class every week, and the last topic that we had class on was discussing this place called Goree Island, right? So it's called Goree Island. Let me see. Yeah, Goree Island, and this was basically where slaves were stored, man. You so-called blacks, all right? Before you went off into the slave trade, you were stored here at this place. This is the last place you saw before, you wasn't free, but it was the last place you saw before you had a chance to be some type of free, right? Because, I'm pretty sure when they were held here, there was people trying to escape and whatnot, stuff like that. But they knew the interiors of Africa. They can get around. But now you're being shipped off to another place that you've never seen before. This is the last place. They even have a place before you even leave, like I guess the last door, called the door of no return. Right? So this is Goree Island. This is what it looks like. This is what you saw before you left. When you left Africa, even though Africa is not our homeland, but this is the last place you saw before all hell broke loose, when you went into a long, drawn-out sailing across the Atlantic, where they had Jake, these so-called blacks, right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, stuffed up, right, like sardines into a ship where men and women and children were shitting and pissing and throwing up on each other, right, dying, bleeding on each other. And they would throw those bodies over the water until this day. They say that sharks follow that trail just because of the blood that they smelled and the bodies that they ate, going along the path of which the ships sailed from this island to the Americas, or what you know today as the Americas. So this is the last place you saw before shit like that happened, until you came over to this country and were sold, right, into your enemy, tortured, right, if you didn't want to comply, put in heavy bondage, man, slavery, brutal slavery, where they took our wives and ravished them, shit, even our children, even you, as being a man. These things were done to you after you left this place called Goree Island. This is the last place you saw before all that stuff happened, right? Let's get a scripture really quick, just to set things off them. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68, and it says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee." So we were brought from this place. As you can see, it's surrounded by water. It's an island. We're brought from this place to the Americas by ships, right? No other slaves are brought anywhere by ships to the amount and the extent of which the Hebrew Israelites were. They didn't need to do that, but because it was done in mass, because it was done in such mass, right? We're bought in ships. It said into Egypt again with ships. You don't need ships in order to get into Egypt, right? From Israel. You don't need ships. So what was that? What was that talking about? The Egypt that was talking about was America, right? Or spiritually, it's called Sodom and Egypt. And if you look around yourself, you see today, you'll see that spiritually this place is Sodom and Egypt. Look on the back of your dollar bill, you have a whole pyramid. There's obelisks everywhere, right? Which is an Egyptian symbol, which a pyramid is an Egyptian symbol, right? The eye of Thor, the so-called eye, all-seeing eye. So like I'm having a tongue twister here, but they call it the all-seeing eye. That's an Egyptian symbol, right? The Eye of Horus. The heavy amounts of sodomy that happens in this country. This place is Sodom in Egypt spiritually, man. There's no way of getting around it. No other country promotes heavy Egyptian ideology and heavy amounts of sodomy other than Babylon the Great, which is America. No other country promotes it that much. This is clear and cut, man, and to the point. You can't dispute this. There's no disputing this. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships to America, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see him no more again, your homeland, right, Israel. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Meaning no man shall save you, because we were bought there. So obviously it's not talking about actual buying. So, but no, it said no man shall save you. We were brought into that from here. Some pictures of it, right off the coast of Africa. That's a good picture right there. House of slaves right there. Military, battery, harbor. It's showing you all the different parts of the island. Look at that. Yeah, you see how Jake is all the way down here on the ground and shit. Yeah, you got Esau, just up here staring. Got their guns and stuff. Goree Island, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. So this is Goree Island, man. So in Senegal, it said its population as of the 2013 census. Hold on, we don't need the population. Look at the date, by the way, of when the first before it was established. Portugal, 1444. That's beautiful. That's spiritual. It says other important centers for the slave trade from Senegal were further north at St. Louis, Senegal. St. Louis. And I go to show you too that this country, like, because this place is, St. Louis. You got St. Louis and Los Angeles. Like certain parts of this country is like named after Spaniards, right? I mean, shit. America itself is a miracle named after Amerigo Vespucci, right? A Spaniard, conquistador, a conqueror, right? Amerigo Vespucci, which, by the way, America means bitter. That's the name. That's what his name means. To show you that these places, like all this history, comes together and it connects, man. And it was you the whole time that was spoken of in the Bible, like we just read in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. You got to put the pieces together and you'll find out who you are. History and slave trade. 1444, going into the 144,000, man. That's beautiful. Goree is a small island, 900 meters, right, which is equivalent to 3,000 feet in length, and 350 meters, 100, which is equivalent to 1150 feet, 1,150 feet in width, sheltered by the Cap Verde, because Cape Verde. This is what you call Cape Verde. A lot of Cape Verdeans, which is my mother's side of the family. They come from this area, right? In Portuguese, it's Capo Verde. Capo Verde, right? That's where all these Cape Verdeans come from. So this part of Africa, they call them Cape Verdeans because they're basically just so-called black people that speak Portuguese. Come from this area, right? So now part of the city of Dakar. It was a minor port and site of European settlement along the coast, being almost devoid of drinking water. The island was not settled before the arrival of the Europeans, which is a lie, but the Portuguese were the first to establish a presence of Goree, where they built a small stone chapel and used land as a cemetery. Now, when they built this place, they built it with putting slaves, so-called black people in slavery, in mind. They had that in mind, because look at the way they built the island. It says Goree is known as the location of the House of Slaves, right? It says built by an Afro-French. I always try to a family about 1780 to 1784. So it took them 4 years to build this stuff. The House of Slaves is one of the oldest houses on the island. It is now used as a tourist destination to show the horrors of the slave trade throughout the Atlantic world. And I believe I have in my notes here. The first slave house was made in, I believe 1536. So yeah, so they had this stuff pre-built, premeditated, man. They knew they were going to do this stuff, right? And you remember around the time of the 1500s, right? Well, roughly around the time, what happened, man? This is the Renaissance period, right? The rebirth. So they had all this stuff premeditated, man. They knew what the hell they were doing, man. They made Goree Island, man, right? They knew what they were doing. It says after the decline of the slave trade from Senegal in 1700s, the town became an important port for the shipment of peanuts, peanut oil, gum. So they had all these different it kept the business going, man. the paths, the same paths that they take today to make trades, the same path they took when they were delivering you so-called black people from this island to the Americas. Yeah. So you can do some research on Goree Island if you ever want to, expand your knowledge, man. This is where we were taken first, man. All right. Once we were captured, they brought us here first. They stored us in this area, and then they shipped us off to the Americas, man. Oh man, it's crazy, man. Let me get scripture really quick. This is Isaiah chapter 22 and verse 17. It says, "Behold, the Lord will carry thee away with a mighty captivity and will surely cover thee." And this is what happened. Behold, the Lord will carry thee away with a mighty captivity and will surely cover thee. We're captured, man. Put into the first slave house here on Goree Island, and walked through through the door of no return, right? This is the island of no return, the door of no return. Walked through there, and then went and taken to the Americas, where you received brutal bondage, man, right? And no man shall buy thee. This is the first place. This is the first and last place you saw as a slave before reaching America. So let that sink in, man. Right? That's what the That's what the reason behind the lesson is about. Let that sink in. That there's history that you weren't taught in school, right? Shit, even looking on Wikipedia, you see you going through Google and stuff, and they talk about slavery and you know, oh, this is the slave house was built here, this is the slave trade was at, but they don't really go in depth, man. All right, they don't really go in depth and let you know anything about places like Goree Island, right? That it was called the island of no return, right? That you had to walk through the door of no return, and then you were taken from there to the Americas across a large body of water, packed like sardines in a ship, to where you went through trials and disgusting tribulations, man. Shitting, men, women, and children shitting, pissing, and throwing up on each other and bleeding. Oh man, it's disgusting, man. They don't really go through that. They really don't teach you this stuff in school. So look up this place called Goree Island. Do more research on it. Get into your history, man. So you can feel that pain, man. Because you got to learn to hate this devil for the things that he did, man. For packing you up on a goddamn island, man, like you some goddamn cargo. But that's what he did. And then you left the island to another place to endure even worse captivity. So with that, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahshua and Shalom.